Hi, I'm Grant Crow, and I'd like to talk in a bit more detail about my recent blog post, The 7 Ways to Guarantee a Disastrous Career. If you remember, if you read it, the first step was to choose a career that one of your parents does. So what's wrong with that? Well, let's think about it. How much do you really know about what your parents do in terms of their jobs? Are you the kind of family that sits down and has your meals together and discusses how the day went for everyone in an open way, in which your parents are sharing what they're up to? Or are you all too busy watching TV, doing your own things, homework, parents are working late, whatever it might be? So the first big problem really is that for those of us that follow in our parents' footsteps, very few of us really know what they do. We have an idea of what they do, but we don't really know what they do. So although you might know a little bit more about that particular career than others that you haven't been exposed to, you still generally won't know a lot. I guess the other point is that makes it sometimes a little bit seductive is that it's easier to get into. It's generally easier to arrange some work experience. You feel that your parents might support you because you're interested in what they do. And from your parents' perspectives, they might be thinking, well, at least my son or daughter is interested in something. What's the real problem here? The real problem is that if you follow in a parent's footsteps without finding out what you need to find out for yourself, it's the lazy option. You're not thinking. You're not having to really think about who you are, what best suits you and why. So it's quite possible you can find yourself studying for something or in a role, and then you really find out what it's all about. And often then it's not necessarily too late, but it's a mistake that can have quite a big impact, particularly if you've studied for a long time to get there. So by all means, use your parents' contacts, use the opportunities for work experience if there are some. But if you are going to follow in one of your parents' footsteps, make sure you do at least the following. And that is, you need to be able to write down what that job is about. You need to understand and write down or say the skills that are needed in that job. You need to know what the good and bad points are of that type of career choice. So firstly, you need to know about the job. Secondly, you need to be clear and to be able to talk to your friends or your parents about why you would be a good fit with that particular kind of career. So you need to know what your motivations are. You need to know what your skills are. You need to know what drives you. And if then there's still a good fit, go for it. But I would anticipate that for many of you, if you go through this process and try and be objective about it, you will find some big holes, some big gaps along the way. So don't take the lazy route. Do your own homework, because career choices are really important.